Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to HemingwayLand.com, your source for quality, affordable land in the state of New Mexico. So I am very enthusiastic to be doing this video for a couple reasons. Number one, because I finally have property in Sierra County. Number two, because I finally have property very close to Butte Lake. As anybody who regularly comes to this website or regularly views these videos knows, I like to get properties close to bodies of water. Our buyers like that. These tend to get scooped up pretty quickly. And so I have been searching for property by Butte Lake for a while. And for those of you who don't know, Butte Lake is the largest body of water in the state of New Mexico. It's got a marina down there. It boasts a fair amount of tourism. And furthermore, it has fairly mild climates throughout the year. So I think that these are all excellent properties as either one, a place to retire, two, just as a seasonal vacation property for snowbirds when it gets too cold in the winter. You don't want to be shoveling sidewalks and driveways and whatnot. Come down here, live here for a few months, go back home. Or just as for anybody who's starting an Airbnb from scratch, going to build a house, going to rent it out, create some sort of passive stream of income. This is an excellent location to do that in. So, as noted, I've got three properties we're going to discuss here. All of these properties are all by the lake. They're all adjacent to one another. I'm going to be selling them separately, however, and they're each, well, let's do this. So this first one we're talking about here is SRNM 1232A. The others are B and C, obviously. Each one is a half acre, roughly a half acre lot. These are all within the Lakeshore Estates second filing subdivision, and they are all priced at $10,000 for cash, or if you want to do some financing with this, we're actually offering a financing option this time, $5,000 down, $250 a month for 30 months. That shakes out to $12,500 if you pay it as slowly as humanly possible, but we do have some prepayment incentives, and I will discuss those later. Quick thing, guys, before I bring this up on the map, I just want to show you, we've got photos down here. Not only from the town of Elephant Butte. If you're unfamiliar with that, you can look at those. We've also got photos from the properties themselves. As with all of our lots, we get photos from the properties. And finally, we've got about a bajillion photos here of the marina of the lake. So please take some time to look at these, familiarize yourself with these. If you're serious about buying this property, this is going to give you an excellent indication of what this area is like. Furthermore, hang on, one more thing. Down here, we're going to add a drone video. This is going to be a drone video, not of the property itself, but rather of the marina. So that, too, will give you some sense of what goes on out there and what it would be like living out there. All right. With all of that said, let's bring this up on the map. As with all of our properties, come here, click on the GPS coordinates, and it'll bring it up on Google Maps. Now, let me quickly say this. This is the A property right here. The B property is right here, and the C property is right here. As noted, these are all adjacent to one another. The B and the C properties are more obviously adjacent. Okay. In fact, let me just go back here to this. I can't bring up the plat on Google Maps. They don't have it, but this is a sense of what the boundaries of the property are, what the shape of the property is. You look at this, you'll see what that looks like, number one. Number two, we also have, hang on, there it is, thank you, the plat of the area. So this is the A property right here, this is the B property, lot 31, and the C property is lot 32, okay? Anyway, all right. Back to this. So where is this property in the grand scheme of things? Well, first off, it's right here off of Rio Grande Circle, which is a paved road. As noted in the headline, and I didn't mention this, but the headline of the property here, residential lot with city utilities close to Butte Lake. So you're in a developed area here where every house is hooked up to water and power and sewers. So this is going to make it a lot more affordable for you to then build on this property and hook up to all of these things. This is not the typical vacant land that we offer that's a little further removed, where you have to drill a well, go through the expense of that, and go through the expense of getting the power company to come out and extend power from some pole that's, a half a mile away or something. This is one that has all of these utilities. Now, by the way, if you zoom in here, because this is a developed area, Google has actually driven the streets, and you can see what this area is like and what the houses are like, and you can get a sense of what the subject property currently looks like or looked like at the time Google went up and down the street. By the way, Google should get better cameras because these images always look terrible. But anyway, all right, back to the map. So where is this in the grand scheme of things? Well, you are very close right here to the marina. This is how close you are to the lake and to Marina del Sur, which is down here. As the crow flies, this is a little more than a mile and a half, a little less than 2 miles, but let's see here if you do one of these. Yeah, about 2.5 miles. I know most people aren't used to walking 2.5 miles every day, but if this is a retirement location for you or one where you really want to, enjoy the scenery, enjoy your surroundings, you could take a leisurely stroll every day or a bike ride, what have you. Point is, you're very close down here to the marina, and you should be able to enjoy that. Elephant Butte is a small community. There's some groceries, some supplies, things that you can get here. I think if you need anything, for the most part, you're going to be driving to the nearby town of Truth or Consequences. Now, fortunately, Truth or Consequences is not very far away. It's about 5 miles. Let's measure distance once more. Roughly 5 miles. Down here along the 181. So anything that you need, for instance, they have a super Walmart down here, but anything that you need as far as, if you've got kids, you're sending them to school, they're probably going to be going to school in Truth or Consequences, or, churches, hospitals, medical, so on and so forth. All of that can be found nearby down here. This is really, I don't know if it's wrong to characterize this as a resort town per se, but certainly a vacation destination. Certainly there's a good deal of tourism out here because of the miles and miles of shoreline that you have. And these people are coming not just from, New Mexico itself, but from all over the country. Furthermore, just one more thing to mention here. You also have, if we zoom in here, the Turtleback Mountain Resort and Golf Club right here, and the Sierra del Rio Golf Course. So if you're a golfer, you're going to have easy access to both of those. And of course, there's probably some great views up here from these, 2 areas of the entirety of the valley. By the way, if we go back to the listing page, everything I just mentioned is included here in our points of interest, both the Elephant Lake State Park website, the Marina del Sur website, Turtleback, Sierra del Rio, and Caballo Lake, which is to the south of here as well. So click on any one of these links. It's going to bring up their respective websites, and you can learn more about the area, about renting a boat, about storing your own boat, so on and so forth. Hello, this one too. What else? All right, let's talk about zoning for this property out here. Now, when we were on the map and we zoomed in on the area, we saw what the homes looked like out here. You can get a sense by coming down here to the photo gallery of, let's see here, of exactly what the area is like, and particularly what the residential area is like. Give me a second, guys. Here we go. All right, so if you look at homes out here from the photos that you're seeing, there's a lot of single-family homes out here. This is not the type of property that you would buy if you just want to live out of your RV. It's zoned residential out there, but there are covenants that govern the land, govern the area around you. So this is an area where you would come to build, or if you've got a trailer, you can park the trailer and give it a permanent foundation. That's acceptable out there as well. You will also see, for instance, here we go, trailers like this. So, if you're currently living in a trailer park and your rent is going up every month because that's how they get you, and you are able to move and you're looking for a nice place to move to, this location is, I believe, ideal for a lot of people and would be ideal for you. So, blah, blah, blah. And here are some power lines. The rest of the photos here are of the marina. Zoom through this, we can see what this area is like as well. I will let you do that on your own time. Let me get back to zoning for just a second. If you come up here on the listing page, as noted, it's zoned residential, which is fairly nondescript. But if you click on these CCRs, you're going to see the covenants and restrictions that were designated with this area when it was first built, platted out, subdivided, so on and so forth. Now, I will have you guys notice these were done in 1960, so some of these are antiquated, some of these no longer apply. For instance, it speaks here in parts 3 and 4 about an architectural control committee that has some say over what, if you're going to build out there, what you can build or how you build it or what type of materials you use. The architectural control committee no longer exists. So that's not a thing that you would have to worry about anymore. The other points of this, roughly 2-page document, these are all, as I've said in other videos, fairly obvious good neighbor type stuff. Point 8 is about garbage storage. Point 11 is about subdividing. Point 12 is about quote-unquote noxious or offensive activities. Point 3 is about litter on the property. So, all pretty obvious things. Point being, these are not onerous restrictions. The Architectural Control Committee seemed to be the most restrictive thing, potentially, and that doesn't exist anymore. So, as long as you're building some sort of single-family residence out there, or you're, parking a trailer, giving it a permanent foundation, you should be good. I should have you guys notice point 14, no Chinese elms, is probably the strictest thing in this entire document. Whatever case, give this a read, and it'll give you a better sense of what the area is like. By the way, I should just have you guys notice all of these properties are in block 10, or excuse me, block 10, are in, where is it? Yeah, no, block 10, residential. All right. Anyway, the point is they're all in block 10, the residential area of this, not the commercial area of this, which is somewhere else. So sorry to confuse you with that. Finally, guys, I should just have you notice that if you have questions about local utilities, about actually getting hooked up out there, about if you're going to build on the land and what it's going to take to get things going, we've also provided the Sierra Electric Cooperative here, their website and contact information, New Mexico Water Service, New Mexico Gas Company, etc. So click on any one of these links. It's going to bring up their respective websites where you can get in touch with them and talk to them about, hey, I'm coming out to build a house in this area, so on and so forth. What do I need to know, etc. With all that said, let's talk about the comps. So I am not crazy about listing a half acre of land for $10,000. It seems absurd until you actually get into Sierra County and you dig into the comps out here. So I've got Sierra County brought up here. Let's sort everything by price, lowest first. So the first thing that you're going to see is that a half acre here, the cheapest half acre in town is $14,500, and this actually is not in Elephant Butte. This is in a less desirable area down here in Caballo. So we're $4,500 under that, and I'm not sure how there's a property with a house that's $15,000. I'm going to guess that's a down payment or something, but anyway, then you have all these $15,000 to $16,000 properties. These are all in Truth or Consequences, so again, not the most comparable thing, but again, these are a little bit higher than what we're selling the half acre for, so on and so forth. If you go through this list, you're going to come down here to, where's the first one at? Here we go. Here's a half acre for $20,000 in Elephant Butte. It's on San Mateo, which is not too far from where the subject properties are. So obviously, we're cheaper than them, and we're offering some good financing as well. Here's another one in Elephant Butte, $26,000. Now, let's get back to actually purchasing the property and how that works. So this is one of these rare instances in which we're providing a financing option for one of our properties. We always prefer to sell for cash, but we have two options here as demonstrated here in the table. So let's talk about the cash option first. If you want to purchase this property for cash, you're going to come up here, you're going to click the Buy Now button, and it's going to take you to this secure checkout page. Now, we're not asking for $10,000 at checkout. That would be ridiculous. We're asking for $500 down. It's a non-refundable earnest money deposit. When we get into properties that are over $10,000, we recommend that you close through a title company. We purchased this property, closed on it, got it insured through ECMAR, Title and Abstract and Title, down there in Sierra County. So we would encourage you to do the same thing. This way we cannot touch the remainder of your money until such a time as the property has been deeded into your name. That being said, we do ask for a deposit up front just to make sure that you're serious. If you would like to learn more, by the way, about the buying process, if you're buying for cash, just click this link. It's going to take you to our Buying From Us page. And if you come down here to this section, which is closing through title escrow, you can see what the steps are to that, what's involved in that, and you can click on this link right here. It'll take you to what one of our common standard sale purchase agreements looks like. So if you're saying, hey, I don't want to give these guys $500 before I know what I'm signing, before I know what contract they're going to put in front of me, this is the contract. Read this over, make sure you're comfortable with it, you put down the $500, and we'll then begin the rest of the process of closing through escrow. By the way, you don't have to close through title escrow, it's just what we recommend. All right, so the second method of purchasing this property, the financing option. If you'd prefer to pay this as slowly as possible, or if you don't want to put down all $10,000 at once, you come up here, you click on this button. It's going to take you to a checkout for basically $5,000 down. Now let me just say this. We cannot write these checkouts in such a way in which it's not confusing. So I'm just going to explain it here in the video. All you're putting down is $5,000. You're not putting down $5,250. The $250 is going to reoccur every 30 days for 30 periods. Okay. So if you pay it as slowly as possible, it's going to shake out to be about $12,500. Now, a lot of people will ask us, or typically people will call me and say, I'm totally going to have this paid off in 3 months. Okay, let's pretend that's the case, though it never is. Let's pretend that's the case. If you come back here to the listing page, we have this helpful link to view a copy of one of our standard land contracts. Okay, so you click on that, it's going to bring up this document. Now, let's talk about what a land contract is. If you elect to purchase this property, we are not going to deed it into your name until you've made all the payments. So if there's 30 installments here and you pay this off 30 months from now, the property is only going to be deeded into your name then. Until such a time, however, this is going to be the document that demonstrates your equitable interest in the property. So we've provided a kind of generic version of our contract here, which you can scroll through and see what this looks like. Now, the most specific I got in this contract is I just sort of tailored this to give a potential buyer some sense of the quote-unquote prepayment incentives that we offer. So there are no prepayment penalties. If you put down the money and you want to pay this thing off next week, I'm not going to charge you $12,500 for it. That would be absurd, okay? But if it takes you 6 months to pay it off, or 12 months, or 18, or 24, or whatever, if you get it paid before the 30-month time period, you're not going to have to pay the full $12,500. These are the amounts that you would have to pay within those times. So this would be the most, the most important page to look at. I should also point out to you that there are some clauses in here about who's paying the taxes. That's your responsibility as the buyer. And there's some clauses in here about late fees, about if there's a late payment, we're going to charge you $25 additional, etc. Okay, so if you're interested in financing the property, please give this a look over. If you put down the money, we're going to provide a contract for you within 24 hours to sign, and it's going to look very much like this. All right, guys, I hope, let me go back here to the top here. I hope all this was helpful. I hope this was informative. As noted, I really like this property. All three of these I think are really good. The location is excellent. Being this close to this lake, as noted at the start of the video, I think this is ideal for anybody who wants a summer home or a second home, or you're retiring, you're looking to move to a warmer climate. Would highly recommend that you check these out. So, thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video.